Thanks, Rob. Hey, Baker, we were talking to Giants coach Joe Judge today, and he got so fired up talking about your competitive spirit that he dropped an F-bomb. And I was just wondering if you guys ever crossed paths at any point.
No, I have not. But I mean, that's the kind of stuff I want to bring when you watch tape. You want to be able to feel that. That's how I've told you guys I want to be authentic and lead these guys, and I'm passionate about the game. So I appreciate that.
Hey, so you were able to shake off that pick the other night. I'm just curious, would the old Baker have had a harder time doing that?
Maybe. I think it's hard to say definitely yes or no, but it's just, I was just so angry about that. And then the drive right before halftime that they got points off both things. And just, those are critical mistakes that you look back on and makes the difference in the game.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Nate Ulrich is next.
Hey, Baker, I know you guys have been laser focused and taking care of business this season. What's your sense of urgency now here, 3 games left?
Every single game is the most important one. We obviously, like I've said, we have a big picture mindset, but the singular focus is just so vital right now to get into the postseason playoff race. So it's we know we have to take care of business this week, and that's we're going to have that singular laser focus.
Thanks, Nate. Mary Kay Cabot, you're up.
Yeah, Baker, we're not sure yet if Daniel Jones is going to start this game or if Colt McCoy is going to start. But I'm just wondering, I know how you feel about Texas now, but back when you were growing up or back in the day, were you any kind of a Colt McCoy fan? I mean, and if so, what did you like about his game?
I was never a Texas fan, but I did appreciate the way Colt played. He's a winner. There's no doubt about that. I mean, just everything he did for that program, obviously being right in the backyard of it, he saw all of it. I mean, he's a winner. He led his team all the time. And then, I followed them closely because Garrett Gilbert, who was with us, one of my friends was Colt's backup his freshman year, excuse me. So, I mean, I've always respected Colt. He's a winner, and he's a great guy.
And just the way he plays the games in some ways, like, the way that you're, such a gamer like that. I mean, Do you ever see any comparison at all between the two of you?
I'd say in the playmaking ability, he's just making things happen. You look at some of his plays that there's not been anything there. He's created something. So I think that's a similarity.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Jeff Shadell is up.
When you look at this Giants defense, especially since they've been playing well lately, what stands out to you?
They just play extremely hard. I mean, they've won 4 of their last 5. They're playing great ball as a team right now. And so I think taking care of the ball is the biggest difference in this game. They have guys in the back end that are great at, getting the ball, finding it, hawking it down. So we have to protect the ball, but they're just playing extremely hard as a unit, and they're all on the same page.
We'll go to Daryl Ryder for our next question.
Hey, Baker, when we talk about Kareem Hunt, we talk a lot about him running the football, but he made a great play the other night on that throw from you. Could you talk about him as a receiver and, why he is so good in that role?
He can catch the ball extremely well. He's got great hands. He can adjust to the ball while it's in the air, much like a receiver can, which is very rare for running backs. So like the ball that out and up he ran and caught it right down there by the end zone. That's not an easy catch to make. I know there's some plays on scramble drills and stuff earlier in the year that he's made. He's able to adjust to the ball when it's in the air if it's not in the best place, like back shoulders, just flip his hips and make plays. He's a great playmaker for us. So yeah, his receiving ability is a big part of our offense.
We've asked you a lot of questions about your offensive line this year. Another game, they didn't allow you to be sacked. Those are obviously down. You're getting hit a lot less than you were your first couple of years. Could you just, talk about the protection that those guys are giving you and how much easier that's making your job?
Yeah, I love those boys up front. We got great guys. One guy goes down, the next guy steps up. We have a great group of men in there, and I appreciate them so much. But for them to go out there and play a team like Baltimore, who prides himself on bringing pressures, bringing blitzes, different packages, and hitting home, hitting the quarterback a lot. For our guys to go out there and including the backs on that and to protect me like that, that's unbelievable. So we have a great group that's just, extremely focused, and they play with each other right now.
Thank you, Daryl. Scott Petrick, go ahead.
Hey, Baker, I wanted to follow up on that. How much pride do you take in being able to help out the line by extending plays and scrambling when maybe the protection isn't perfect?
Sometimes you have to do that. Not every play is going to be perfect. So, being able to do that, bail those guys out because they're protecting their asses off for me. So it goes both ways. I'm not trying to do too much. I'm not trying to create plays, but sometimes when the play breaks down and I have to, that's a big part about just keeping the plays going and eliminating those negative plays, most importantly.
And I know you talked about you're not the fastest guy in the world, but how much enjoyment do you have when you're able to scramble for the touchdown or pick up a first down?
It's a part of the game that, like if teams want to really drop out and, not stay disciplined in the rush lanes, I have to take advantage of that. And I think there's been opportunities that I haven't necessarily scrambled for, but, that's something that I need to continue to do is realize that can be a, important part of our offense.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Steve Dorsick is next.
Baker writing a couple of Freddie lines from the standpoint he's involved in this week's game. But the question is, you were there for the whole experience last year. And then when Kevin got hired, even DePodesta said it was going to take a while for a new regime to get going. Question is, did you think that Stefanski could take the team this far, this fast, and why?
I do. Just from the first time I met with him, and I know we hit on this earlier in the season, right around training camp when he came down to Austin and we met for the first time. Just everything that he was about, and in my conversations that I had with our general manager Andrew Berry as well, just how on the same page they were, which was new to me. So that was a comforting feeling. So it's just, you knew the potential was there. Nobody said it was going to be easy, and we're still getting better. And I think, like I said, that's the best part is we're continuing to improve as this goes on, and we've laid a foundation. We need to continue to build and reset that standard.
Were there times last year under Freddie when you thought it was close to being on the verge of getting over a hump?
Yeah, there's a lot of ups and downs, but not to reiterate on last year. It's just we've talked about it as a roller coaster.
Thank you, Steve. Nate Ulrich.
Baker, Kevin earlier said that this might be the best defense you guys have faced this season in terms of disguising coverage. So I was wondering, what do they do to, make Kevin say that? And then just how much better do you think you've gotten in doing all the necessary things you need to do to combat that in this system with Kevin and with Alex?
Yeah, when you play a team like this, it disguises their coverage as well. They'll show a one high, bail out into a two shell, or really give every key away that you think they're playing cover two, and they'll drop into a single high coverage late. And so it's just about having eye discipline, and not only me, but for some of these receivers, if you have route adjustments when it comes to having specific coverages. So it's about being disciplined and seeing the post snap stuff back there and just reacting to it. So it's going through your reads, trusting your eyes, and seeing it and not getting fooled.
Do you think you made a jump there from, earlier in the season? Is that what we're kind of seeing lately with you? Is that part of it?
I think that's part of it. I think, just trusting my eyes and going through my reads, not, selling out to throw one ball, but reacting to coverages and moving through those progressions.
Thank you, Nate. Marla Ridenour, you're up.
Yeah, Baker, I can't resist you. Fort Knox cracked with Keyshawn, and you revealed the bet with the quarterback room fine. So is it over now?
No, just can't say anything after a loss. Nobody. It's not fun.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Thanks, Marla. Jake Trotter, you're up.
Yeah, Baker, I imagine this is a game that Odell would have loved to play in for obvious reasons. Do you guys channel any of that for him Sunday night since he can't play?
Yeah, I'm going to talk to him this week for sure. Like you said, this one would mean a ton to him, and not necessarily in a revenge way, but whenever you play a team that you're familiar with, as I've, had the same thing in college, going back and playing Texas Tech, it's just, it means a lot to you. And so, we're going to play for him because he's one of our guys, so we need to do that.
Somebody mentioned earlier, it could be Colt this weekend. It's unclear whether Daniel's going to be able to play or not. But, have you had a chance to watch him over the last couple of seasons, and, any thoughts on the way that he has played, particularly this year?
Yeah. I think because we're playing their division this year, seeing more of his stuff on tape just from studying our film, I think he's doing a great job. I really do, giving his guys chances, putting them in a position to win. And, like we talked about earlier about using my legs to move the first down, move the markers. He does such a great job of doing that. Really, when he wants to tuck in and run, he can move. Now, I don't know about the finishing part when he tripped up to the 5-yard line, but he can move.
Thank you, Jake. We'll take 3 more. Mary Kay Cabot, Scott Petrick, Ed Barkowitz. Mary Kay, go ahead.
Yeah, Baker, it just seems like, just in watching you, even back in college, that you play your best when you kind of have that swagger, you have that confidence about you, and you just get in that zone. And it seems like Kevin Stefanski and Alex Van Pelt really understand that about you. And I'm just wondering, how have they, and it just seems like it's kind of back over the last 4 or 5 weeks, or maybe since the bye week, how have they just kind of helped you get your confidence back, instill that in you, and have you playing just with all of that fire?
Yeah, I think you said it. It was back to the bye week. Those conversations that we had to be able to kind of evaluate where we were as an offense, what we were doing well and what we weren't doing well. And those conversations that we were able to go through of like how I'm seeing it, and just the things that we missed in an off season with no preseason games, vital conversations that we were able to get even more on the same page. And so I think we're seeing that now. But yeah, you're right. Playing with confidence is where I'm at my best. And so trusting these calls, trusting my eyes and going through it, and, trusting my guys around me.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mary Kay. Scott Petrick, you're next.
Hey, Baker, coming off such a tough game like Monday night and with the short week, how do you get back up for the Sunday night game mentally and physically?
Yeah, physically, the shorter weeks are always the tougher, but that makes it, coaches always, make it easier for you in practice. You do more mental work, and so you make up ground for the shorter week when it comes to that, while you're also saving your legs and your body at the same time. So you got to be a professional. You have to take care of your body, do your rehab, all the necessary things. But then, the mental side of it, you really have to be locked in, because it's just like you said, shorter week.
And I want to ask about Donovan real quick. I mean, on that one drive late in the game, I think you threw the first pass to him, kind of the back shoulder. Where does that confidence to trust a rookie come from?
It goes back to when he came down to Austin. The skill group came down to throw. Just trusting him. He's all about his business. He shows up and does his job, and he wants to be coached. He wants to be, that tough love. He wants that because he's striving to be better, and that's what you can see. That he's a quiet guy, but you appreciate that.
Thanks.
Thank you, Scott. Final question to Ed Barkowitz.
Baker, thank you for your time. Calling from the Philadelphia Daily News and talking about Kevin. What is your impressions of why? How much does he have to deal with that you guys are where you are at 9-4? First year coach, no real spring. Can you just detail what he's meant to what you've been able to do so far?
Yeah, I've told these guys we did a lot in the offseason. Virtually, nobody wants to have to install a whole new system, offense, defense, through Zoom meetings. But what he did to keep everybody on track was extremely fundamental in our success right now. He laid the foundation, but then it was, the conversations that you miss out with your teammates to get to know everybody in the off season. We did a thing called 4-H's where you list your hopes, heroes. Gosh, I'm going blank on it now. Heartbreaks, and we just went through it, and you got to know somebody without actually being there, which that means a lot, because then you build the foundation for a team that you want to play for. You want to play for these guys around you. You want to fight for them, and just it wasn't only players. We did staff members as well. So a lot of the new players, because we do have a very new group of guys, but they got to know everybody quickly because of that. Where if he didn't handle it that way, I don't think we'd be here right now.
And after you had that difficult interception the other night, what was the conversation with him like? Was it sort of just okay, this is what happened, now we got to figure something out?
Yeah, he's the type of guy, he always wants to take the blame. So we just had a straight up conversation. He said it was my bad. I said it was my bad. Well, we got to move on, because the most important play is the next one. So it's just a very clear cut relationship and open line of communication.